Hi, I'm Sarah Kern, and I have a farm near Watkins, Minnesota. We grow cattle, corn, and a few sheep. Today I'm going to be showing you one of my family's recipes that we love to make and eat, and it's sweet chili hamburger and green beans. So first you need 1.25 pounds of ground beef. Brown your ground beef. I like this recipe. It's very easy to make. It's pretty quick, and everybody loves to eat it in our family. So it's one of those that if you're, just want to make something and not have to think about it real hard, this is what we make. So on our farm, we raise beef. We buy our cattle in groups of around 40 of them. Our calves come to our farm when they're about 3 to 5 months old. When we get them, they're put into groups based on how much they weigh. So they're in groups of about 40, and they revolve through the farm with their group of friends for the whole time. Our cattle have a nutritionist just like people can, and they formulate rations based on what it is that the cattle need in their diet and what we have on hand. So it's a perfect blend between their using what the grower has and what the cattle need to make a ration for them. So as the cattle are on our farm, we're not just feeding them once a day, feeding them twice a day. That too depends on the age of our cattle, and the way that we feed them is either with a TMR mixer when they get a little bit bigger, so that's just like a big blender that mixes all of their feed up, or we do it by hand with pails when they're smaller. But not only that, they need to be bedded. So we use corn stalk bales from our fields and we bed them to keep them comfortable and dry. And they also are on a vaccination protocol to keep them free from getting sick, keep them healthy as we move them throughout the farm. So as our hamburger is getting brown, I'll kind of conclude our cattle story, because as they move around the farm, it's been about a year from when they're about finished weight, which is about 1,450 pounds to 1,500 pounds, somewhere in there. From there, we have two main places that we take our cattle. The first, my husband is a butcher, so some of them will go to his butcher shop where he works to be harvested. Next option, and this is where far more of our head go, is just to a big locker plant where they will be harvested and put into the food cycle. Basically, you'll be able to find our meat on the grocery store. The meat that's being sold in Walmart or at Cub Foods could very well have come from our farm. Okay, this is just about finished cooking here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in the ingredients that really give this ground beef a little kick. Sweet chili sauce. I add 4 tablespoons of this. And then coconut aminos, that's 8 tablespoons of this. And then you need just a couple tablespoons of butter. And then we're going to turn it down to low. Put the cover on while I snap my green beans, and we're going to add those right in on top of the ground beef. I always make this recipe with fresh green beans, either from the grocery store or from our garden, if we're making this when that's in season. I think it's best with the green beans, then they just stay a little more crisp. All right, we've got our green beans ready to add into here. We're just gonna dump them right in. Give it another stir. And then we're just gonna let these green beans cook for a little bit, for maybe 3 to 5 minutes. So now that our meat is done simmering, I've made my rice, and I make my rice in the Instant Pot. Feel free to make your rice, use jasmine rice or whatever kind of rice that you like. So serve it on a bed of rice. Yep, this is looking really good. And add some meat and green beans over the top. And we'll top it with some cilantro. And all of these things are of your own choosing. My kids do not eat this with the cilantro, but my husband and I enjoy it that way. And then crispy fried onions right over the top. I hope you enjoy this recipe from our family to yours.